Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Timberborn. To start this episode off, we're going to work on developing the industrial district up here in the metal area and try and get some 200 horsepower set up for that. We've also raised up this double floodgate to start building up this reservoir and make sure we don't have any unexpected leaks. So we need 200 horsepower for the smelter. So we're going to come to power. We have the windmill that can do 150. Or the large windmill that can do 300, but we don't have paper, and we don't have quite enough. We only have half as much science as we need. We're definitely going to want to get the gravity battery going. How much does a gear workshop need? 120. So I'm thinking we might throw in 3 windmills. Maybe we'll put a 3-way in here, in case we want to expand more power out this way. Then we don't have to just destroy it and rebuild it. Now the question is, what we could do is we could just bring it down and then back. I believe that power transfers between buildings. I think what we'll do is just do this. And we'll do a 3 there. So that should get us everything we need. Actually, in this case, let's delete that. I don't know if it'll, yeah, it should let me put a 4-way there. Or not a 4-way, excuse me, but a battery, drop battery in there. So go ahead and get that in the queue. Let all of our busy little beavers get after it. That'd be a pretty good spot for a power wheel, too. Can we squeeze one in? We can. I think what we'll do is delete some of these paths and then put a power wheel in with a gear workshop over here. And we'll delete this too. Put the path back in. And for now, we'll throw a lumberjack over here to chop all these trees down. But I don't think we need to necessarily worry about turning the metal harvesting back on, because we got plenty of scrap metal there, which is back in timber, and a lumberjack flag. And here comes another drought. They really don't give you much time in between. But I'm feeling pretty confident having this much water backed up. Now that we got the smelter up, I put that on above normal priority, so that will start working through and processing into metals. I think I'm going to go ahead and tear out all these berries and plant in some potatoes instead. It looks, yeah, so we're going to have to assign a demolition. You can also straighten this path up and get some of that cleaned up as well. But we're actually really close to the 15 well-being that we need to unlock the, I think they're called the iron teeth. So that'll be pretty cool to get done as well. Globally, we don't have any extra workers, but we also don't have any space to grow. So I guess that's going to be the next thing we need to look at right after this, this drought. We'll look at expanding and what that needs for our colony. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in the tapper shack down here, because as it is, these trees aren't getting kept up with. And there's plenty of timber down here. So we'll put this in, and then that should let them start gathering pine resin, which then we can use for the wood workshop, or there was something else we were looking towards. I think it was in science. Yeah, we can get the observatory. So it takes a little bit of power, but less. You get a lot better beaver to time to science ratios than the inventor huts. Let the water dry up in here, so I'm going to try and let some of it bleed back through to keep our plants alive down here. Unfortunately, we don't have the controls in place. We really need to enable all these now. We have plenty of resources for it. That way we can force the water down this way. Maybe we ought to put something here too, instead of having to refill all of that just to get some over here. Went ahead and unlocked the medium tank and placed one down because we were starting to get a good amount of gears. Trying to think which side would be better to improve upon housing wise. I think we already have a couple in place here, so let's go ahead, we'll go ahead and enable that house there, and we got to drop that a bit to let this lake fill up with some water again. We do need to start getting some more things like this in place, and we do have the science for it. Obviously, we're going to need the herbalist too, but that also requires paper. So let's go ahead and grab this. Let's see. We're going to need to scoot this road over. I don't think this... yeah, we don't have quite the space we need for that there. I'd love to get this water pumping out of what's sustaining all of our resources. Probably could fit one in over here. Not quite. Well, maybe we need to unlock some terraforming tech, or we could just throw in a platform. Maybe a path. If we throw in a platform there, then that should let us place... yep, that there. And then if we find... I mean, we could really even just put one in here. Yeah, we can tear these chestnuts out, or no, we don't even need to tear the chestnuts out. If we just grab another one right there, we just need to put a platform in there. Grab well-being, throw it in there. Wonder if I can flip that around. There we go. Then as long as the path connects on this side, and the two paths never cross, they can both enjoy swimming in the same pool. We got a beaver with an injury, so I guess it means we don't have any medical beds down here. So let's go ahead and fix that by throwing a couple in next to the tooth wheel. And we do have an unemployed beaver. That's in the North District here. Oop. And there goes all of our water, but we're ended up being just fine. We'll just go ahead and enable the gear workshop for now. The next goal is going to be to separate this district from this stuff over here. So let's go ahead and start looking at what that would look like. So if we have a district crossing, it's like it's 3 blocks by 2 blocks. So if we take the planting, so we have this block, we do something like that and that. Then eventually when these get chopped down here, I am thinking it wouldn't be the worst either if we put a district over here, maybe on this island, well, yeah, on this island, then started building up a big reservoir like down this channel. So we could put some floodgates there and then build up a big dam along here and somewhere over here, so that we could utilize this like we planned and have the infrastructure for, like there, and name it the Bad Water District. Maybe we don't wait for this to get harvested, maybe we just tear it out. And then we're gonna need some housing over here. We can just throw some housing in like so. Then we already have some industry down here. Oh, we got 15. So we just unlocked the Iron Teeth, probably from the wet fur need coming up. Looks like that's been pretty popular. That's exciting. Love to see it. Yeah, I'd really like to capitalize on this water flow and this whole area. Just would help me feel a lot safer in the bad water times. We got a bad tide approaching here, so it's a good thing we have all of our infrastructure built up here, so we should just be able to raise these right before it comes and divert it around, and we should be fine. We'll want to make sure that this is raised up and that this is raised up. And we'll want to make sure that we get these raised up too, but we'll leave it open for now so that this pump can keep pumping. But it does make me think we might want to put something in over here, at least for temporary. Or even building a section up here and having another floodgate control like this one. Just cycling it off the map would be pretty easy. Especially since you don't need a beaver to run up there and actually actuate the gate. If we look at this real quick, if we throw in some levees, just build like a little holding tank area, put single floodgates in there, and then just some more levees there. But that should solve that if we ever get a path up there, but I think for now we'll still be okay just by migrating that. So you don't have any power. Yeah, we're waiting for the windmills. Looks like we got a lot more water consumption up here than we do production. Let's look at this. So we don't have the science for a large pump, nor do we have the sparkly planks of goodness. We are going to need a bad water pump here soon, too. Do we want to... That's kind of far away from the district center. Where do we want to pump out of? We could clear some carrots out here and put it up here. But we want to make sure that's up at 1.5. What's our district crossing? Okay, I'll go ahead and drop that down a couple because there's some more important jobs to work. Okay, now we can start transferring population over here. First thing we're going to need to do is to build a pump and a water tank, which I think we can pump out of this section here just fine. So we'll go ahead and throw in a water pump. Yeah, right there should be good. We'll throw a path in there. And we do have space for a big tank. 20 gears, and we got 23 gears there, so that works out well. It's a lot more tile efficient to do that. And we're going to migrate population over here, and we're going to say we need a minimum of 1, 2, 3. It'd be nice to have like 5, but I'll say 5. Although these jobs are going to get dried up pretty quick, but that's okay. Because this building is going to get thrown up. And we have these over here too. Oh, we gotta finish the path connection now. There we go. That should make them all happy. Okay. Oh, we don't have food storage over here yet. That's kind of important. Where do we want to throw these warehouses down at? We're gonna need to start going vertical here. A little bit more efficient with our placement. So we'll do that and that for now. Get a path hooked up there. And there. We'll start with that, and then we can get more creative with it as we go. That's a high priority job there, please. Yeah, okay, so this one we're gonna want, what food do we have the most of? Carrots, makes sense. So we'll have carrots, and then it looks like we got a lot of sunflower seeds. So we'll have those there. So we gotta make sure that there's at least someone working the district crossing, otherwise we will not have imports like we expect. Let's see, I think we want to do... I don't know what the threshold for if needed is, but we'll start with if needed. Let's see, okay. Okay, so as long as we have a storage place, if needed, will suffice. And we're going to want to make sure we have at least some food. Oh, and this is showing us where we have storage. Just before the bad tide comes, probably at 0.2, I'm going to try and raise this up to 2. That's already raised up to 1. And then that way just try and get every last little bit of water that we can build up here. Because pretty quick here we're gonna have to smash those open. That goes, I guess. Oh. See, this is good to know. We have a little bit of overspillage here. So we got a little bit of contamination. So we need to build this up a little higher. And then when we get some dynamite, I guess we'll need to widen this channel. Let's see, let's make sure down here. Yeah, we got that raised up. Perfect. So we got just a little bit of infection. But I think we'll be okay here. I think we can go ahead and drop this to 1.5. Apparently it's very full, because it floods quite easy. The only thing I'm worried about building here is the is slowing down this water wheel. But keeping it from backflowing is probably going to be pretty important. We got lots of logs down here, so we're going to go ahead and enable this, and we'll see where we get, I guess. Maybe we should wait to finish this dam here until all of this can drain back out and get pushed back out with a good tide. That might make a little bit more sense. I think at this point, because so much of this stuff has been killed off here, I think I'm going to go ahead and make this a super high priority and make this a boosted priority, and then just nix this gathering flag and then have instructions to pull out these berries. So we should be able to squeeze a lumber mill in here and get power to it. It's 50 horsepower. This is producing plenty. Seems like a good thing to get up here since we got a gear workshop part of the year anyway. I think we are going to tear out these dams as soon as this bad tide is washed out and put them on top of levees to try and maybe we'll end up putting another double floodgate in here to help open this gap up, to try and get this flow heading in here. So that's going to mean, well, if we, by doing, really we could just throw levees down, because anything above 1 is going to get cycled, or anything above 0.7 is still going to get pushed out over there. Okay, let's make sure these are opened up to 1.5. Make sure that's opened up to 0.5. And then this we'll want to open up as soon as we get water flow there. Importantly, open those floodgates. We'd always stack them up on top here. Figure out, that'd be a bit harder. This is fairly straightforward. Just got to grab some. Might as well just throw a levee in because it's cheaper. And then some stairs. And a path. Haha, already another bad tide. Beaver is unwell. Is that contaminated water? Okay. Do we have 300 science? We do. We don't have paper yet, though. So we can't. We have what we need to build a paper mill. We can rip one of these out and throw a paper mill in. With all the spare workers we have up here. And then we're gonna need storage. Throw it over here. And for these, I think I'll do platforms. Just in case we want to have something running underneath them. So I'll have this one store paper. There we go. So I think the main things we'll need to oscillate to. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, let's stop that. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing? Yeah? Huh? I think so. I think instead of levees through here, I think we're going to want to put actual dams with spillways. So let's make sure this is a higher priority, because I would like to keep it from backwashing, as well as I'd like to make sure we actually have some water to pump for this area. Also, you have a unemployed beaver, which doesn't. Uh-oh. So we got that up, and then get that up, but it's only going to be as good as this levee here, so let's at least throw that in, and we'll throw those in there just for safety's sake, because we want it to overflow here, at least 2 high storage or blockage. Probably just do some floodgates right here. Which should help keep this from overflowing with this stuff. So our populations come back up, and I'm throwing in some science huts, and looks like I need to throw in some more over here, just as overflow jobs. So we're just making the workplace priority pretty low. So if you have something else to do, go do that. But if you need some, do we have any? But if you need a job, come do this. Do we have any chestnuts here? We do have some. So let's go ahead and enable the grill. We have to be careful, because if there's a stockpile of planks here, which there isn't, but if there was, and there was none here, but then up here was calling for planks, then that could be problematic. I don't know that it'd be smart enough to export into this middle ground and then export up here. So I suppose we could build a long pathway and have a district crossing up here. I think for those two, we'll probably just enable the power wheel and the lumber mill, and work on gathering some more planks to make sure we can get up here and get this paper mill running. That's why we see our trees growing up longer than we can get them chopped down, is all of our log storage is full. We do have paper production now, so I think we're gonna go ahead and figure out a spot to throw the herbalist. Looks like thankfully it doesn't need any power, so that makes placement significantly easier. Paper's produced here, but we can export it down here just by throwing a workplace in. I feel like this would be fine to put in the middle. So I guess we'll put it next to our tapper shack that's been collecting all the pine resin. Okay, now we got some planks going. We'll go ahead and turn the smelter back on. Although now we have more horsepower requirement, so maybe we should increase our windmill production. Looks like these got to get out of here too. Let's get these marked for... Okay, so there's that. So then we'll make this stuff on this line a slightly higher priority. Probably starting with that there. There's the good news right there. And I guess with that, we'll have kind of a reverse cliffhanger, and we're going to wrap the episode up here. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope that you have a great day, and you remember to keep smiling.